chance. They could deny it here, and it would be 3 points for FaZe. It would be a nice way to keep them locked into that second spot. Whereas for Inco, it's their chance at the finals, going up in a puff of smoke. Trade between either side. Nade clashes back onto Mela. Low HP for Inco across the board. They're scared blank, trying to use the utility to keep FaZe back. Rafa has the DBS in hand, needs to get aggressive on this. His team's dying, his team's falling over bit by bit. The longer this one goes on, the worse it's looking, as FaZe is just throwing out nade after nade and blowing away any chance of an Inco upset happening here. They want to deny them the opportunity to get points on this, and it's looking rough. At least there's a bite back onto Vintores. They go for the rev as well. Rafa's going to jump straight onto his teammate. All the attention from FaZe, jaunt on the one man as well. They're at least going to have 3 players up here, but how do they play it?
This would be an unbelievable comeback coming through from Inco. Rafa looks to take down Vintores to start things off. Nenebeche on the high ground. Only 2 clips in the mag, though, to keep this fight alive for them. Quick knock on the nade to try and bounce it back up towards Nenebeche, but a full 3v3 on the reset as well, with the entirety of FaZe all locked into one position. Nenebeche on this high ground also causes serious troubles for the guys on FaZe. And FaZe, not technically safe. Honestly, there still could be change-ups here. If they win this fight, they're looking way better. But for Inco, this fight means tournament lives. If they find the 3 players from FaZe, they will ladder up. They'll have to hope that Team Queso goes out early, or they can live long enough into the game to see this one forward.
Crazy the way this has swung back and forth like a metronome as well, from what looked like FaZe arriving like the raiding squad, just ready to claim those points and leave Inco down in the depths. Instead, now they're the ones that look timid blank. They're the ones playing defense, and it better be a tenacious defense, or you're going to leave yourself in such a risky position. Look at Rafa. He's got the pin pulled on the nade, wants to line that one up. Would have been right on target. Luckily, heads up maneuver from Mormon, backs up into the corner, out of the fight now for a few seconds whilst he uses his meds to reset. And this is just such an elongated bout as well. You're just guarding. You're just edge keeping them inside of this compound, knowing that if they want to push out and take the fight onto you, you're the one that's going to be holding the angle. You're the one that's going to have the advantage here. So Inco actually in a great position to defend against this.
Absolutely. They've got all the angles to play around with. Like you say, just trapping the entirety of FaZe into one building. Finally, Mormon has the energy, has the courage to send themselves upstairs here. Difficulty for FaZe as they've got no more utility left. Letting dry for both these squads. Mad Bull suffering their own plight to brute force down to 1 player. They'll be out now. No chance in hell they'll be making it in. Brute force similarly suffering. But for Inco, they want this fight just to be over. They don't want to be here anymore. Locked in combat. They want to get looted.
And that's one of the key points, right? The longer they spend time here, blank, the less time they have playing the game, the less time they have getting that ground loot, getting themselves supplies that are starting to run out. And it's also just the constant heart in your mouth action. You know, you got to think about the fact their adrenaline must be pumping right now, blank. You're basically in a tournament lives fight between FaZe, and it's been elongated to about 3 or 4 minutes here, where you've just been sitting, waiting, not sure when you're going to have to strike, not sure when they're going to leap at you. And it's not looking good. I mean, either side have used so many of their actual benefits that they had coming into it. The meds, the utility, ammunition's going to start to run dry as well. A lot of pressure on that. And I don't really know how you release it. It's just going to come down to which one of them survives on the fight. Meanwhile, Gladiators eating nades to Rook. So they steal away a few.
Nice.
Okay, here we go. There's the first peak. BTR. They pulled over with one, but it's Inco that gets struck upon. FaZe with the first peek through the window, hitting a nice headshot. Vitali, he's got to back off, needs to play defensive blank. FaZe, they're giving them 1v1s. They're going in individually. They're isolating these peaks. They're not playing together, but luckily Mela, the madman with a shotty, cleaves round the corner to grab a big pickup and puts them on their last legs. He's bailing out. Rafa's giving up the goose. He wants to get some distance on this.
1v1 here for Rafa on towards Mela. Mela, an absolute DBS menace himself, will at least flush out one of their players, giving the chance for FaZe to get 2 players back up on their feet. So threaten the res on either side. Mela can hold down the fort in the front side, maybe drops a smoke. In comes Rafa on the side, full HP. DBS primed here and ready for Mela versus Nenebeche, and Rafa himself quickly goes for the push on the DBS, but they don't want to let them get these players back on their feet immediately. Onzens goes back down. That's 4 eliminations. That'll take Inco higher here over the top of Team Queso, puts them in 5th place, knocks both BTR and Team Queso out. All down to Mela now to save not only his life in the tournament, but also potentially Team Queso's and BTR's.
Mela, he's been the clutch master of Miramar. He's been that talking point, Mr. Consistent for FaZe. And this is where that consistency's got to shine through. They're bruised, they're buckled, they're breaking down. And look who's arriving on the scene, the dinner bell. It's been so loud for so long. Team Queso, they realize they can come in. They want a piece of this. They want to get stuck into the fight. Mela, all he's got to do now is wait. The game has changed. The mindset here is that if he can just survive long enough, maybe there's an opportunity to get some points, strike back, whilst the rest of the squad's being torn apart by Queso as they're on the scene. Reyes with the initial nade, throws it in. Inco, going to be realizing now, we've got to do something about this. We need to clear out Mela. We need to get into a better position, maximize as many points as physically possible. Sure, 4 elims and getting into the top 5's great, but making sure that you're still going to be there by the end of this one is a whole different story.
Dear me, this is intense indeed. Team Queso taking it into their own hands here to remove the offending party that's attempting to challenge their position. DX goes out in first, allowing the rest of the lobby to just battle it out. Inco gets upstairs. Mela immediately taken out the way. Now 2 players alive. Rafa on an absolute streak here.
Rafa's playing some blinding PUBG Mobile right now, but for how long does it last? That is the huge question mark over the top of this team. Will this be a defense or will it be a fast for Inco? Will they let it slip through their fingertips? First man drops down, gets absolutely slaughtered. Rafa trying to stay alive, playing towards the doorway, has the DBS, but he's going to get knocked off his feet. Team Queso, a much needed pickup, and it's onto the team that knocked them out of the top 5, but look what's happened to the standings.
Immediately, Team Queso back up into 5th place after that one. Procedure Evos taking down BTR as well. They're losing members left, right, and center, and this could be BTR's run over. Our 2 Indonesian squads not likely to make it back. Members left, right, and center, and this could be BTR's run over. Our 2 Indonesian squads not likely to make it back. Members left, right, and center, and this could be BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Members left, right, and center, and this could be BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Members left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center. BTR's run over. Our final member of BTR not likely to make it back. Left, right, and center
Slow and steady wins the race. Superboy's just been playing the longevity on this one. Obviously taking so much damage early, he's opted to just kind of squirrel away and look to see if maybe there's any chance that BTR could get some well-needed points just through popping up a little bit later into this one, being able to steal away the placement or some snaky points the longer it goes on. For Duxan, where's their conquest going to end? Tags seem to be occurring here as well. Looks like Evos have been thrown into a bit of a scrap. Few bullets lighting each other up. And Duxan, seeing them now, Blank. They've got the peek into the back. It's Jipan that can actually peek from the back of the rock here. And he's seen Luxy. Knows where him and Lynx are. How does he approach this? Has he got the trigger discipline, or does he want to just take on the raw engagement? Knows that these are two prime opportunities for points.
Prime opportunities indeed. Required, needed this point in time, but the amount of players alive are dwindling right now, down to 30. Not that many left remaining for these teams to make happen. IHC over towards this northwest side. Another team that's desperately trying to make their way towards that top side. Next circle shifts. Any team that can fast approach towards that compound in the center is looking good. And there's a lot of teams able to do it. IHC is closest, but they're locked in combat with brute force, Jackie.
Oh man, Blank. It's a big game. It's a big game for them, and they need to find so many points. They need to find a chicken dinner, really, for IHC. It's one of those where you've got to clean up brute force with ease. You can't afford to take a single casualty. You can't afford to waste any real utility either. It just has to be picture perfect. And this is the one that's mind-boggling me as well. I'm just wondering if we're going to see some sort of heroics later on from Superboy. It feels like there's always a potential for this man. Individually so talented, but he's lurking right now. IHC seem to have realized what's going on. The fact that brute force, they're lurking up on him. They're coming in one by one. Peek from the first as Demo, the demolition squad leader, blows them to bits. Perfect play with a nade. The utility master detonates them. And that's going to give him a lot to work on. A leg to stand on. Nice connection as well. Ziol with the tracing Blank. That's beautiful work with the gun skill there. Nice tag, but it's stolen away. Influence Rage. Clean up on the headshot.
Yeah, necessary. Absolutely necessary there. So many teams to keep track of. No more rankings for you guys, though, so we'll just have to guess as we go on. See where these teams end up. Influence Rage on that northwest side. Still holding it pretty for the time being. A team that needs a whole load of points, but we just won't know how many more is required to the end game. We'll just have to wait and find out on that final desk. In the meantime, they need to live it out first.
They're keeping us guessing. They're keeping you guessing. Much like the teams are right now, as everyone's giving it the big one. Left in suspense, not knowing who's got enough points, who's taken top spot right now, who's going to be breaking into that top 5. But still, each fight could be the difference maker. Each fight could be that one extra point for a couple of these squads, a couple of these big names that we saw so closely grouped coming into this one. Papi Potro thought he had an opportunity to keep the good times rolling between Queso, but again, Blank, he goes down early. Sarah with the opening here. Sarah does not stop. The bicep man from Reject Tokyo giving it large right now as he's finding freebies all over the shop. Reyes, more like sprayers, as he'll be sprayed from Sarah and taken down. Reject Tokyo running amok against them and potentially finishing the point where they can actually get any more points on this Blank. Big Milo's down in the deck. It could be over for Queso right now.
Yeah, Team Queso don't know how many points they needed. They don't know how many points they required to get themselves in. In an 8th place scenario, they don't get a huge boatload of points for that in terms of placements either. I think we did just about see Team Queso ladder up over the top of the guys from Inco at the end of that one. So I think they are currently in that top 5 position. But they go out now and teams underneath them like Duxan, Influence Rage, BTR, even Udo Alliance continue this onwards. There's a lot to be scared about here. Even IHC, we didn't talk about them too much, but in they come, barreling towards this compound, looking to change the fate of Influence Rage here.
Oh, Demo with the backup of Joel as they come in and cleave their way through them like a hot knife through butter right now. They bombard their way into the compound with no respect for Influence Rage. They've wiped them up like a spilt drink and claimed control of the compound blank. IHC, we were talking about them coming into this game. I believe they started it in 9th place in the standings. 62 points is what they had. They needed big elims and high placements, most notably a chicken dinner at the end of this one. They're putting their best foot forward in the engagements they've been given so far, and at least writing the narrative that there is still a chance blank, that there is still a slim opportunity for the Mongolian Massive to break into the top 5 by the end.
I mean, this is probably the most well-deserved game right now for IHC to get into that top 5, battling off against the guys from Brute Force. A beautiful crash over towards Influence Rage, realizing where the end result is going to require them to be over in this compound. 7 eliminations, but further than that, they need to go. Once again, BTR, just like in their survival stage, edging their way towards the end game to try and get enough points to secure themselves inwards. U2 Alliance, though, not likely to allow this one player to make it through. The rest of them know exactly where he is. He'd have to go for a mad 1v3 with the blue at his back, which just doesn't seem possible to me. And I think this might be BTR's run over.
Oh, BTR. Getting battered right now. Superboy is gone blank as he goes down to the play zone. That is where their reign of terror ends. They had put up so many huge games and had flown the flag high for Indonesia, but not happening now. Seems like there might be another side that wants to deal some damage though, and that's Luxy that comes in, turn and burn onto Duksan as the South Korean squad are obliterated one by one. Evos are going Super Saiyan blank.
And they do not get themselves that big win that Duksan were looking for. Reject up to 6 eliminations now, looking to take this as far as they absolutely can. 8 eliminations, possibly 9 now for IHC. This is looking more and more likely like a top 5 team to me on IHC. They've been waiting for a game like this all day long, and it's only fitting that they give it to us at the end of the day here, Jackie.
Made you wait for this one, but this is where they're showing up. How much damage have they done though? Is it enough? When will it be enough? All the questions that will be reverberating through their minds right now. They're just thinking about the bigger picture. Guarantee the chicken dinner, lock it down, and see where you stand when the dust settles. Reject Tokyo and Pasija Evos, the only 2 sides that dared to stand before them, and it's just a duo and a solo. In red face, the man at the back of the rocks, they're looking for him. Zol, he's spotted him now, knows his location. They want to dive straight in onto him, but they have to keep it clean. Don't make this one messy. Take down Evos and then win out on the 4 versus 3 up against Rejects. That's how they've got to play it. Red face uses the smoke, tries to tuck in close to the geometry so they'd have to dive down, giving them the advantage. He's trying to play over the lip blank. Demo firing off warning shots, exposing himself, but with the backup will find the frag. Reject though, steal away the first.
Looking down towards this way, IHC just got themselves into a world of hurt versus Reject. Only 1 player left remaining now on the other side of this in Godless. There's one other player from IHC over the top side of the ridge, but Reject up to 11 eliminations off the back of that one. It might just be once again the Reject right on the edge of victory at the end of this game. Maybe a 6th place. I doubt they'll be getting in towards the top 5. We'll have to wait and see after this one. They were so low on points. It's just unfortunate once again that they step up way too late. IHC though been ripping into the lobby like a toddler with a cheese string, now looking to finish off the last 3 members.
That's what it feels like, blank. It's like they're kids playing with Lego. They're just smashing it to bits. And that's the lobby thrown from limb to limb. Nades on top of Rejects here as the first one will land. Ocio brought down to 50% health. Not in a great spot. That nade barely missing. Divine intervention for Godless as he'll stay alive. Goes back in for a bit more, using the elements now as he ignites Rejects. You can see he wants it. He wants to just peek with a big old gun and see if he can bombard into them. Plays it safe for now at least. Doesn't over egg the pudding. Backs off with the hill. Molotov starts to tag him as well. Alex moving up. Has an angle to peek. Hiding inside the smoke will be OCO.
Regiocio dropping down there. And Sarah getting around the side with the DBS. Some great mollies, some great nades from the team of Reject. But just not enough players to take down. Sarah dips back inside. Eventually, Godless is going to be forced off this high ground. Regiosio keeps dropping smokes, keeps his position covered. Eventually, he wants to get the backstab over towards Alex and Godless once they have to drop down. Regiosio gets up towards the top side now. UMP close range. Godless with the MG3, Jackie.
The MG3 armed and ready. That bullet belt about to let it rip. But will it be a blinder? Here's the peek from Godless. Peppers into the opening man. Shuts him down as Sarah Biceps has fallen. And Reject Tokyo are being backhanded. IHC, the Mongolian side, have done so much here on Miramar. And they want to finish it in the 1v1. All down to this then. Godless waiting on top of the rock. Quick med mac maneuver as well coming out. He's going for the hill. Godless is going to peek into him blank. Doesn't have the confidence to wide swing on it. Exposes his head. Takes the bullet back. Reject still holding on here. They both give up the fight to heal.
Just the bandies though for Godless. Duello hits the first aid kit. Back into the fight here now. Jackie looking to finish this one off. Hoping that the circle's going to favor him.
Godless constantly healing. Little bandages going up. The rest of his teammates going down for good. Godless wants to go for the drop down. Bides his time. Knows that there's no easy angle for Julo to peek up onto this. Tries to go for it. He jumps off.
No
the
way!
Man maneuver as he swings on in. Godless grabs it. And they take the chicken dinner. IHC, the Mongolian team with a dream, from all the way down in 9th place. Grind it out on Miramar blank. And they've done the unthinkable with a chicken dinner at the end.
Godless may be, but like angel wings sprouting out behind him, the guardian angel himself, Godless, will take them to the big heights that these boys needed to get into the top 5. Alex was so certain of it at the start of the day in the interview, and it looks like an easy win for IHC to finish things off and confirm their position into PMGC.
Wow. What a crazy game. IHC, over the course of all of the games we had seen from them, we'd been singing their praises, watching them go from strength to strength, watching this man cause carnage, watching Alex get aggressive. Every one of these players had moments where they delivered, had moments where they were the backbone of IHC. But the Mongolian team flies the flag high with a great game there, blank. Huge momentum for them at the end of the day. Really did give it everything they had on the last Miramar. And we had some cracking Miramar teams in this lobby. This was no easy feat.
I mean, we lost DX and FaZe right off the bat, so our two biggest teams in the lobby just weren't there to have it out. Procedure Evos make it far into the game, probably have secured their spot. Reject, I think, once again, they came so close, yet it is still so far away for them to get towards that top 5, but nothing certain at the end of this.
No. Nothing is, but thankfully we can find out. Everyone that sat home on the edge of their seats, we will now know who has made it through. Let's get back to the desk and waste no time for the big reveal.
Max, I'm just going to give this over to you and what you said at the end of that game.
It's one of my favorite PUBG Mobile games ever, Jason. There's so many storylines from the start to finish. You have FaZe fighting up against the side of Inco, Team Kesso going for the third party, trying to compete for top 5 position. Then IHC, that we said, Jason, they need to get placement points, they need to get the wins. There was so much happening. My brain is about to explode right now, but man, IHC, this is the biggest game of their career by far, making it possibly into the grand finals. What did we just witness?
It had everything, didn't it? It had everything. I mean, especially even towards the end as well, where I'm going to say, yes, it's IHC's biggest game of their entire careers. It wasn't clean at the end. There was a lot of...
It was shaking.
Because, yeah, that's exactly the right thing, right? There was clearly extreme pressure on them in order to be able to make the right decisions at every single moment in time. Falling down and taking out the procedure last player or whatever, I do feel like may be a little bit of a slip up there. It almost ran away from them, this game did for IHC, but just in the last moment, the double MG3 magic, able to clutch it out for them here in one of the closest games of PUBG Mobile I've seen in a long time.
Oh man, I'm looking over and I can see the overall rankings, but I'm not going to look at them just yet. I mean, even Inco, they had themselves through into top 5 until they got wiped out by Team Queso, who overtook them in 5th place. A lot of damage coming through. 2 players over 1k here. I think it deserves a double sound from Kalaris.
What? Yo, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage.
Oh, Sara coming in with the 1300 damage. The thing is, we knew how strong Reject could be in the past, and here we go, overalls, and IHC have been able to do it. They've taken 4th place, actually.
Whoa, IHC were able to make the jump up so significantly. They went from 9th position here, Jason, to top 4 in the rankings, completely overshadowing the sides of Team Kesso and BTR in the rankings. And man, Team Kesso, I have to say, it was a really, really good attempt, Jason. That was a good game plan to third-party FaZe versus Inco. But unfortunately, when IHC has a game like this, all you can do is bow. And IHC made it through.
Yeah, and you know what? As much as I'm saying, okay, there were some moments in those final stages where I'm thinking, maybe that's not the right choice and stuff like that. There were so many moments where they could have said, we have these buildings as IHC, we're going to stay in them. We are just going to stay here and allow everything to play out on the eastern side. But they didn't know exactly how many eliminations they needed. They didn't know exactly how many points exactly everything was adding up. So they pushed out onto those rocks. And in that moment, all hell breaks loose. And it just became this perfect moment here for IHC to be able to make... I've got goosebumps a little bit, actually. I got goosebumps.
It's so funny, too, because we saw them pushing, and Clark's like, why are they doing that? They can just sit there and wait. And then it clicked in your head of like, wait, they don't know how many lives they need. They don't know how many placement points they need. They went for the big play that we talked about at the start of the day, right? Sometimes you just have to turn that aggression up to an 11. But I think Kalaris, they turned it up to a 15 there, ended up coming home and taking the victory.
Yeah, maybe a 15 and maybe a little over aggressive on some moments, but you know what? It all worked out.
It's not even that, like, before even they start taking that fight for the win, IHC took the control of this lobby so early on. They took control of their destiny, taking the fight versus Brute Force on the northwestern side, clearing the entire northern edge of the circle, and then the most important fight, breaching onto Influence Rage in that compound that gives them free range to do pretty much whatever they want in that finishing moment, because at that point, they were tied with Influence Rage. So every step of the game was so stressful, man, and good for IHG to be able to weather the storm, because I would have been crying that match if I were them. I would not be able to deal with that pressure, and they just made it happen.
Well, it seems like, pressure for you doesn't turn you to a Diamond Max, it just turns you into a sad boy. But another team that should be sad, it's Rage. I mean, a team who just has dominated all year long, I feel like. And to see them knock it to the grand finals, it hurts not only for us watching, for obviously them, and obviously the teams in Brazil watching this as well. So that means we only have 2 teams coming into the finals with what? Loops and Alpha 7. I mean, we thought there was going to be 3.
That's why the landscape for survival and last chance is so brutal, right? Like, you can be who we perceive as one of the best teams, maybe even in the world, but if you don't perform on, I'm going to say especially the second day as Influence Rage, sorry. And then you get these magical moments happening from teams where they really pressure is really up against them. Yeah, you're not going to make it. That's PMGC.
Even the league stage was tough for all of these teams, right? Vampire didn't even make it out the league stage, so it was tough from the get-go, and it just keeps getting rougher and rougher every single day, every single match for these teams, and unfortunately some teams are just not able to deal with it, and they crumble before the finish line. But now we have our 16 teams, Jason, for the grand finals, and I'm telling you, it is looking stacked. I have no idea how it's going to go. There's a few favorites, but even underdog teams like IHC are able to just change the entire landscape of these matches at the end, so it's going to be a tough one to predict.
I mean, the funny thing is, right, we talked about in group stage, obviously there's some teams that will outperform others and others who just won't really perform as well. And then we went into survival stage, and it was like the caliber of the lobby just rose. Like the difficulty lobby got way more difficult than it was previously. And now having our teams through to this, into the grand finals, the difficulty spikes up another notch. That obviously some teams have some time here to prepare for it, but really, grand finals is going to be a true test of the grit you have as a team and your preparation coming to the event.
It's the best lobby of all time in PUBG Mobile. How daunting is that as a task? It is the best lobby of all time, and you somehow have to scramble to the top amongst all of that in order to be able to claim the championship. It's gonna be crazy over there in Turkey.
Yeah. It's going to be one of the most insane storylines, because you're going to have S2G Esport defending their title on home ground over in Turkey. Man, they're going to have a tough time, because the lobby, as you said, here is looking like the best lobby we've had forever in PUBG Mobile Esports. So it's going to be the best finals, I think, by far here this year.
I'm just going to say it. I don't think S2G are going to take the title again. Like
The
seeing
competition's
the
insane.
training that these teams just got in these last like 2 weeks of their own play, and obviously the experience they've been able to get. S2 just been having to watch, but they have to somehow get some practice in. And as you said, Kalaris, like the most difficult lobby in PUBG Mobile Esports to this day. I'm excited, man. I can't wait for the Grand Finals to kick off. I feel like every year we'll be getting more and more competition. I mean, the fact is we're seeing so many other regions rise up as well. I mean, we knew how strong Mongolia is, seeing IHC come through to join the likes of Stalwart Esports, seeing Brazil have 2 teams in the Grand Finals as well, and what they could potentially pull off. It's really anyone's game, and I'm not a betting man, and I'm not even going to try to bet whatsoever of who's going to win.
I mean, you're talking about Mongolia, right? Sure, you have Stalwart, you have IHC. You have also 4MV that has got a big fan base. I know Kalaris is very fond of this team,
Big
and
fan,
they
yeah.
hopefully going to do fantastic over there. But yeah, and Brazil, I think that Brazil and Mongolia might be 2 regions that have a shot for the trophy. But as we said, it's anyone's game. Even Major Pride can make it up there. They've had a magnificent play during some of these matches in the league stage. So yeah, prediction-wise, nigh impossible, Jason. I have no clue.
I think for me, maybe the biggest standout, biggest surprise is Nongshim Red Force coming through as well. Like a team that we didn't really see too much in the past. The team who hasn't had that much experience on this international scale. And for them to qualify through first, well, there's still a lot of work out ahead of them. But obviously, as we do close out the day here, I mean, Xavier coming out first, a team that we really would never have guessed coming to this as well, considering what we saw in play from before. But it's crazy to see that Vietnam still has some teams to shine through. And we're actually going to head on the stage with an interview with Xavier.
We're finally concluded for our last chance qualifiers. Yeah, we get our top 5 teams, and we have to interview the kings of Erangel of the last chance, and also almost got himself the 4th chicken. But let's stop at 3 for now. We have the entire crew here of these Xaviers hailing from Vietnam. Congratulations, guys. And I think they're just waving for now. Okay, now since we're gonna ask Lamborghini for the questions, and now can you describe how you're feeling and what is going through your mind right now?
Chúc mừng các bạn. Thì không biết là hiện tại các bạn đang cảm thấy như thế nào và có suy nghĩ gì không?
Bọn em đang rất là vui, bọn em rất là tự hào vì bọn em đã làm được. Còn tối nay bọn em sẽ đi nhậu say.
We're very happy and we're very proud that we made it. And tonight we have planned to have to drink together and beverage together.
Oh, they already have plans. Drink together with who?
Các bạn sẽ đi uống với ai, đi nhậu với ai?
Thường thì bọn em sẽ uống với sếp và Onin là say hết ạ.
Usually we drink with our boss.
Oh, the boss is here, I guess. I mean, like the boss is here, guys. Okay, now I need to ask this question. You almost break a record here with a back-to-back hat-trick chickens. Almost scored the 4th in the last Miramar. Why did you score the last one?
Rồi thì các bạn gần như đã có tạo được kỷ lục rồi, nhưng mà tại sao các bạn lại dừng lại 3 bữa cơm gà mà không có phải là 4 bữa cơm gà?
Tại vì bọn em muốn để dành vào final ạ.
Because we want to spare it for the grand finals.
You guys hear that? 4th chicken in grand finals, guys. Okay, now, what do you plan to do next after your drinks? Any other celebration plans? Or tomorrow, what are you gonna do for the next couple of days here?
Vậy thì sau tối nay thì các bạn có kế hoạch gì không? Có dự định là sẽ ăn mừng như thế nào không trong những ngày tới?
Sau ngày hôm nay bọn em sẽ cố gắng tập luyện thật chăm chỉ để vào final làm 4 trận top 1 ạ.
After tonight, we will try to practice hard so that we can make it to the top 4 in the grand finals.
Calm down, man. You deserve to be happy. No, I mean, rest for today. No practice for one day, okay? Just celebrate.
Hôm nay thì các bạn cứ nghỉ ngơi đi nha, không cần phải luyện tập quá hăng say đâu.
Hôm nay bọn em sẽ uống thật say, ngày mai sẽ vào cái cục ạ.
Tonight we will drink and tomorrow we will practice.
Okay, I think it's just a one-day celebratory for them, one night to be specific. Now, you play against all the teams and grind for a month together here in Malaysia for such a long time. Now, do you have any favorites of players or any teams you bonded with that become your close friends there?
Thì trong 1 tháng qua tại Malaysia, các bạn đã đấu với tất cả các đội và đã có cơ hội cọ sát với nhau. Thì không biết là có đội nào hay là có người chơi nào mà các bạn yêu thích và có cái mối gắn kết thân cận nhất hay không?
Trong tháng qua ở Malaysia thì bọn em cũng tiếp xúc rất là nhiều đội và bản thân em thì tiếp xúc với vợ sắp cưới của em ạ.
In the past month in Malaysia, we had the chance to get in touch and get to know with other teams. But for me particularly, I get the chance to get in touch with my future wife.
Who is that future? Was the one next to you?
Vậy vợ sắp cưới của em là ai?
Không biết được.
I don't know.
You don't know yet? Okay, a future wife it is. It's a mystery for now. I don't know how many future wife he has. Maybe each one of them for one of each, you know? Maybe. Okay. What do you want to say to the team that's waiting for you in the grand finals and all the supporters have been cheering for you guys until today?
Vậy thì bây giờ các bạn có điều gì muốn nói với những đội đang chờ các bạn tại giải Grand Finals và với những fan hâm mộ mà đang cổ vũ cho các bạn hay không?
Bọn tôi rất là mạnh mẽ lên, mọi người hãy cẩn thận đấy. Chúng tôi chỉ nhả mấy ngày đầu để tập luyện lâu hơn thôi. Các bạn ủng hộ chúng tôi thật nhiều nhé. Cảm ơn.
We are very strong, so watch out. We will be easy on the first few days only, but after that, we will fight hard. So thank you for supporting us.
Oh, that's so nice. But yeah, I agree with that for now. I mean, it just shows they're coming back as strong as number one. Now, before we conclude the interview here today, can I have one cheer from all you guys, Chua, Parajin, Lambo, all of you guys to cheer for DX one time before we end the interview?
Rồi trước khi kết thúc thì các bạn có...
You count for them 1, 2, 3, okay?
Okay. Trước khi kết thúc thì các bạn có thể có động tác nào ăn mừng hay không? Mình sẽ thực hiện sau 3 tiếng đếm nha. 1, 2, 3. Mạnh mẽ hơn nào, mạnh mẽ hơn. Vui mừng thêm.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. They're posing. I think that's their chair for now. I think they're done. They're just still. They have no clue what's happening, but I think that's it for today. And as we conclude our top 5 for our last chance. See you guys in the grand finals. See you guys in the big event. Bye. Woo!
Well, at least they're going to take some time to celebrate today, but they still realize the matter at hand. Their job is not done whatsoever. Getting through the grand finals was the first step. But to take home the trophy for them and, of course, for Vietnam is the main goal here. But they're still going to have a lot of work to do until then. But seeing Demo, I mean, he was our MVP yesterday. He's our limb leader here in the last chance qualifier. I wonder if it's going to be someone from IHC to be the leader overall when it came to the MVP. But honestly, there were so many great individual players, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't think that little role he has next to his name is accurate. Because definitely not. But actually, Redface from Pasija Evos becomes the MVP of the last chance. Okay, I mean, I thought Demo was going to be up there being damage and elimination leader today. But man, Redface, really, we saw from the league stage, right, Calais being set up on the angles for his team, entry points, especially a lot of these fights. He has been really a standout player for the roster. So glad to see a play from Pasija making it as the MVP.
Yeah, definitely. He's a name comes up all the time when it comes to excellence here. But Jason, here it is.
I cannot wait to see. We can see the teams already through into, well, not the teams already through, the teams who Alpha 7. I am really curious to see how they're going to perform and put Brazil on a map for themselves and really show the world what they have to do. But of course, the grand finals will be kicking off on December 8th, and we're going with the same map order as well, which I still will say to my dying breath, I love that fact that we're doing back-to-back maps instead of swapping them around in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it gives a chance for all of these teams to really adjust slightly, especially for that big block of Erangel. It is the bread and butter to try and make sure that you can take your learnings into the next game. Again, like when it comes to the games that we've witnessed so far, what pressure has actually built here for these teams. Xavier, I did not expect the back-to-back-to-back from them here for the final, but we cannot forget what we just saw from IHC. That was, again, just a splendid display of being able to somehow control the nerves, control the adrenaline pumping through you when it all mattered.
I'm really looking forward at some teams like IHC, FaZe, and Xavier that have had a significant glow up in the last few days in the survival stage and last chance. I really hope that is going to continue, hopefully, through this kind of vein into the grand finals. If they do so, that kind of caliber of play, I would say, is good enough to be able to compete with the teams we already saw make it into the grand finals. So I think there's a chance that any team can make it. But Jason, I'm really excited to see especially Sook for Weibo back into a PMGC grand finals. He's going to pop off, man. I'm really hyped for that.
What's your favorite thing?
I mean, he's got a lot of work ahead of him, and all the teams who are participating here, for them to replicate that performance against a caliber of a lobby that we've yet to have ever seen this kind of level before in PUBG Mobile history, I think is going to be tough. And I don't know if any team's going to just dominate the lobby like we've seen in the past, but it's going to be exciting nonetheless. For you guys at home, remember our official smartphone provider here at PMGC 2023 is the Infinix GT10 Pro. You guys can pick one up because it's born for professional sports business. You guys can dominate the lobby, and obviously while you're done dominating the lobby, you can post all your content or even check out PMGC content over on TikTok with the tag PMGC 2023. But gentlemen, I want to give you a chance to say some final words though before we do end out the show, because it's been a slog. We've had 3 different groups, a survival stage, a last chance stage. Maxman, go ahead.
There's so many storylines that have reached their conclusion now, Jason. Some dreams have been shattered and some dreams have become reality for these guys. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to the grand finals. There's going to be a bit of partying tonight, but last time tomorrow is back to the training grounds and getting ready for the next event.
I'm of the opinion, the same as Max, that it's going to be either Brazil or Mongolia taking the title. However, as I said before, it's the greatest lobby of all time in our profession, in PUBG Mobile, in the esport, that we hold true and dear to ourselves. So it's going to be an exciting watch.
Well, mark your calendars. December 8th is when the grand finals are going to be kicking off live from Turkey A. You guys are not going to want to miss this, and I cannot wait until we can continue our journey in PUBG Mobile esports. past 5 years, we have witnessed the birth of countless excellent teams and players in all 5 major regions. They are still remembered by us to this day. At the same time, we also remember our fans who loved us from the very beginning. On the occasion of this 5th anniversary, let's turn back the clock to the starting point of PUBG Mobile Esports, the Southeast Asia region, where all the stories began. As the first world-class event, PUBG Mobile Star Challenge gathered professional players from all over the world. With continuous development, the 2019 PUBG Mobile Club Open Global Finals is undoubtedly the most exciting event.
2019 Fall Split Global Finals, ladies and gentlemen, give yourself a round of applause!
Among the countless rising stars, one shined particularly bright. Bigatron Red Aliens, a team from Indonesia,
Bigatron Red Aliens!
just got first place in the PMCO Southeast Asia Fall Championship, earning the chance to compete in the PMCO Global Finals in Malaysia. In the subsequent prelim stage, intense competition kicked off immediately. And finally, they advanced to the Grand Finals in 2nd place. BTR demonstrated impeccable strength in the competition. By the end, BTR was leading the lobby by a significant 106 points, bringing the first ever championship title to the SEA region.
Di saat itu siapa yang gak kenal dengan nama Bigatron gitu? Tim yang punya segudang prestasi, mereka juara dunia di PMCO Global Finals tahun 2019. Mereka banyak banget melahirkan pemain-pemain berbakat, Zuxi, Luxi, Ryzen, Microboy. Terus habis itu Zuxi, Luxi juga saat mereka menjadi juara dunia, mereka berada di masa prime-nya mereka banget.
PUBG Mobile Esports always strives to develop and grow year after year. That's why we made sure to continue the support and build the SEA region. In 2020, the improvement of the competitive schedule introduced the World League, which later became the World Invitational. We also launched the PUBG Mobile Pro League, where even more outstanding teams joined the competitive stage. In the 2020 PMWL, BTR once again clinched the championship in the East. This had given Southeast Asia the title of the strongest region in the world. They hoped to continue their legacy at the PUBG Mobile Global Championship, the pinnacle of PUBG Mobile Esports. However, BTR was not able to repeat their performance from the previous year.
This round, winner with a chicken dinner, Nova XQL!
With the rise of Team Nova, countless brilliant moments were had, but this also left many players with regret.
After BTR Red Alien won at the Global Championship in Kuala Lumpur, we thought C region was the best. We thought nobody could beat C region except maybe RRQ Athena, maybe Illuminate the Murder, maybe Mega Conqueror, but C region was the best at the time. And we get to the league. We heard of a team called Nova. We thought maybe this team is not that good. On the contrary, they owned all the teams. They were very good.
Let's move forward to the year 2021. With continuous efforts, more teams and players joined the Pro League. For example, Xavier, who placed 3rd in the 2020 PMWI East League, also secured 2nd place in the PMGC East League. FaZe Clan also made their debut on the world stage.
Có thể nói 2021 là năm thành công nhất của Dingo Xavier trên đấu trường quốc tế, khẳng định vị thế và tên tuổi của Việt Nam vô cùng mạnh mẽ. Còn với FaZe Clan, đây là năm đầu tiên họ đặt chân đến với giải đấu cao cấp nhất của PUBG Mobile, nhưng lại khiến tất cả những đối thủ khác đều phải dè chừng và e ngại.
Undoubtedly, the year 2022 has brought the greatest changes to the SEA region. Vampire Esports emerged, dominating 2022 PMWI, winning both the main and after-party tournaments, while also setting records for most chicken dinners, most eliminations, and more. They were not only facing competitors from the SEA region, but from all over the world. Everyone was talking about VPE and wondering if they can maintain their performance at the Global Championship or if it was just a stroke of good luck. On the last day of the 2022 PMGC Grand Finals, VPE won 3 chicken dinners alone, moving from the bottom of the table to 6th place, achieving the best result for the SEA region. They pulled off another miracle, but sadly, it was not enough to win it all. In 2023, VPE continued their impressive performance. They once again won everything at the 2023 PMWI.
23 PUBG Mobile World Invitational Champions, Vampire Esports!
ก็ย้อนกลับไปในปีที่แล้วนะครับเอาจริงก็ผมมองว่าน่าจะโอ้โหไม่มีใครที่จะมองว่าทางฝั่งตัวแวมไพร์จะซักเซสได้ถึงขนาดนั้นนะครับเพราะยุคนั้นเหมือนทุกคนจะโฟกัสไปทางฝั่งตัวอินฟินแล้วก็เฟคแคนที่มีแบบว่าผู้เล่นดังๆนะครับแล้วก็ถ้าจำมันได้เหมือน PMGC ปีล่าสุดมากินไก่แบบเบิ้ลติดๆกันในวันสุดท้ายเหมือนเอาจริงน้องๆก็เคยบอกเลยว่าเฮ้ยเราเครียดกันไปหรือเปล่ามันเป็นตัวเองดีกว่าเล่นแบบปล่อยจอยได้แบบจอยเลยสุดท้าย3 จะติดจบอันดับ 6 ของโลกซะอย่างนั้นนี่นะครับแวมไพร์สปอร์ตเดี๋ยวเชื่อจัด
But don't forget, Alter Ego, an Indonesian team, showed a very strong performance by winning the Super League twice. The SCA Super League was an upgrade to the previous championship, which by many is considered to be the most competitive league in PUBG Mobile. They could potentially become the next legend of the SCA region.
Untuk dibilang legend, gue rasa belum sih untuk Alter Ego. Walaupun mereka sempat ngedapetin back-to-back champion untuk di PMSL 2023, itu menurut gue hanya sekedar untuk ngasih pembuktian gitu bahwa Indonesia tidak kehabisan pemain berbakat. Ya mungkin contohnya Rosemary gitu. Datangnya dia ke Alter Ego tuh bener-bener jadi ujung tombak untuk Alter Ego. Dan gak berhenti di Rosemary. Masih ada Alpha juga yang didatangkan oleh Alter Ego untuk mengisi kekosongan atau kekurangan dari Alter Ego. Dan gue rasa PMGC 2023 ini akan menjadi ajang global championship pertama gitu untuk Rosemary dan juga si Alpha. Jadi wajib banget kita nantikan performnya mereka di PMGC 2023. Dan please di notes pastikan tonton Alter Ego sampai akhir.
Of course, there are many more teams we haven't mentioned, but these teams will all take part in the 2023 PUBG Mobile Global Championship. So what do you think? Who will be the ultimate winner in this year's PMGC? Will they be from SCA? Well, there's only one way to find out.
Greetings, PUBG Mobile players! The long-awaited Frost Festival is about to commence. In the new version 2.9, we'll be introducing battles filled with a frosty atmosphere. Snow Battle is coming to town. Furthermore, you'll also get to experience updates to World of Wonder and Classic Mode. So let's dive right into it. In the Frost Festival, we'll be bringing you a series of snow-themed content, including a new Snowy Village-themed area, fun interactions with snow pals, and snow-themed items for more gaming fun and excitement. When miraculous December comes, the frosty world will undergo some magical changes. Stay tuned for updates. Don't miss out. First, let's take a look at the new themed area, Snowy Village. The village covers a wide area of 280 by 150 and has loads of supplies. It's located near Stalber in Erringel, Iceborg in Livik, and Goroka in Vikendi. In addition to the buildings on the ground, the underground area of the Lucky Ice Tower is also worth exploring. Make use of the 2-story layout to experience a completely new battle experience. Sound the bell in the Lucky Ice Tower, and you can even summon rewards. Additionally, the village also has a snow rail, which can help you quickly move around and gather supplies. It allows you to navigate flexibly between different areas of the village and also swiftly relocate to advantageous positions during battles for your team to counterattack more effectively. Of course, you should always remain vigilant to avoid becoming the target of an ambush. What's more, the village also features a special 2-seat vehicle, the Reindeer. It's also a great choice for transportation as it allows you to swiftly move all over the map. For intense battles, we've also prepared festive and practical battle equipment for you, the Snowball Blaster and Snowboard. The Snowball Blaster can be used in many ways and has loads of functionality. When you aim it at the ground or a building, it can create a snow pile cover for you. When used on enemies, you can temporarily transform them into lively snow pals to restrict their movement. When facing bodies of water, you can use the Snowball Blaster to freeze the surface so that you can walk on it. It's definitely a practical yet entertaining weapon. After transforming into a lively snow pal, you will be unable to use firearms to do battle. You'll only be able to rely on basic actions such as walking, running, jumping, and swimming to evade enemy pursuit. It takes some time before you can revert to your human form. Let's build a snowman together. The snowboard will also bring you a whole new experience. Apart from helping you glide and move on various surfaces, it can also be used with the Snowball Blaster. Explore the many possibilities and use these two items to have all kinds of fun. We've also designed very various interactive mechanics, such as searching for snow toddlers, lucky ice, and the snow blast zone. When you encounter a lucky snowman on the map, don't be in a rush to leave. There are 4 lost little snowmen hidden near the lucky snowman. Search for the 4 hidden snow toddlers and bring them back to the large snowman. You'll then receive a token of gratitude. There are lots of lucky ice scattered across the map. Shatter the ice to get the supplies inside. Try using a melee weapon to break the ice more easily. Furthermore, you'll find that snow has engulfed some red zones on the map, and the falling snow will bring about many interesting effects. Players within a snow blast zone will be transformed into a lively snow pal if they're hit by the snow. If the snow lands on the ground, a snow pile cover will be created. In this World of Wonder update, we'll be introducing a brand new transformation skill gameplay and a catch me hide and seek gameplay for you to enjoy the transformation skills to the fullest. Of course, you can also use this skill to create more interesting creations. We've also added a Snowy Village map template to celebrate the Frost Festival with creators. Additionally, we've also made some updates and improvements to gameplay devices, game parameter settings, and the editor. For more details, please follow the official PUBG mobile community. We'll continue introducing the latest WoW content to everyone. As for Classic Mode, we've also made some improvements to vehicles, firearms, creation mode, emotes, settings, and more. First, we've enhanced the designated marksman rifles. Some DMRs can be equipped with the full auto mod to fire in full auto. We've also improved the attributes and handling of some vehicles to enhance your driving experience. We've also added a new garage mechanic. From now on, you can choose your dream ride during matches. Meanwhile, we've also added a custom SFX adjustment feature. You can adjust the volume of some sound effects to whatever best suits you. As for creation mode, we'll be introducing some quick view features for watching the victory dance and fireworks displays and the new Frozen Kingdom themed performance in order to provide players with more possibilities for creative content. Furthermore, we've expanded the emote backpack. Now you can equip more emotes before entering the battleground. That's a wrap for the main content in this new version. In addition, new content will be added to the popularity battle event, Metro Royale, and season rewards. For more details, follow our official PUBG mobile community. Snow Battle is coming to town. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
In 2020, while the eyes of most PUBG Mobile viewers were focused on Southeast Asia as well as other regions, there was one region in particular that went under the radar, the 2020 EMEA League. Numerous teams from different regions were fighting for a spot in the 2020 PMGC. Among them, the teams from the EU region were the most dazzling. Kanina Power, which had previously won 3rd place in the 2020 PMWL West League, managed to break through and eventually won 6th place in the 2020 PMGC. Class Dilge Athletics from Turkey also successfully took 8th place. For the entire EU region, this was a great start, and in the future, the EU region would grow into an even stronger region. The EU region seems to have endless potential. They always have a number of astonishingly talented newcomers. In the 2021 PMWI, in addition to the veteran team Kanina Power taking 2nd place, the newly reorganized team in 2021, Next Ria,
Xenox in the smokes, the solo by themselves,
surprisingly won 3rd place.
The EU region seems to just have endless potential. There's always a number of astonishingly talented newcomers coming up through the ranks, developing their skills, and in 2021 at the PMWI, you had some of the veterans there for sure. Kanina Power taking 2nd place, an incredible performance coming through from them to get that 2nd place. But not only that, you had the reorganized team for Next Ruya in 2021 who won PMPL Turkey. They came 1st in their region and then were invited on the back of that to the PMWI West to take 3rd place. So these new talents working as this new roster at the time, a phenomenal resurgence there, and there's so much more left in the pipeline, I'm sure, for this region. I'm really excited for what the future has, and I can't wait to see what they've got.
In the 2021 PMGC, teams from around the world gathered once again. First of all, worth mentioning is that among all the participating countries in the grand finals, Turkey had the most with 3. Among them, teams like S2G and Next Ria finished 4th and 6th respectively. This was a massive achievement. The efforts of the EU region are constantly bearing fruit. Now they just needed an opportunity.
2021 yılında Dünya Şampiyonası istediğimiz gibi başlamıştı. Çünkü West aşamasında 3 takımımızı birden ilk 6'ya sokmayı başardık ve büyük finallere 3 takımımızı göndermiştik. S2G 4. olarak buraya katılma hakkı kazanmıştı ve kadrosunda Rip7, Timber, Kalse, Sylas gibi isimler vardı. Büyük finallerde ne yapacağını çok fazla kestiremiyorduk temsilcilerimizin çünkü dünyadaki takımların iyi performansları söz konusuydu. Büyük finallerde temsilcimiz S2G 4. olmayı başardı. Nexu'ya 6. olmayı başardı. Maalesef Fenerbahçe ilk 8'in dışarısında kalmıştı. Ama bu takımın ileride çok iyi şeyler vaat ettiği konusunda herkes hemfikirdi.
Next, let's go directly to the 2022 PMGC. At a time when everyone was focusing on whether Nova could win 3 consecutive championships, a team that was not originally a favorite to win was about to become the focus on the stage. S2G performed consistently in the first 2 days of competition, always maintaining a position at the top of the leaderboard. And on the final day, S2G changed its conservative tactical strategy and sought to gain more elimination points in the last few rounds. And in the last round, S2G secured the championship with 15 elimination points.
Champion of 2022, it is S2G!
They finally broke through and made history for the EU region.
2022 Dünya Şampiyonası bizi büyük zaferler getirdi. Tabii ki Dünya Şampiyonası başlamadan önce bu zaferlerin geleceği konusunda çok bir fikrimiz yoktu. S2G kadrosunda bazı değişiklikler yapmıştı. Takıma yeni katılan oyuncular vardı. Özellikle Reis ile birlikte takımın form seviyesi gerçekten çok yüksekti. 2022 Dünya Şampiyonası finallerine 2 takım göndermeyi başarmıştık. Bir tanesi S2G, bir tanesi Fireflux. Maalesef 2 takımımızın kaderleri birazcık farklı oldu. İlk günden itibaren S2G sürekli olarak zirveyi kovalarken Fireflux için işler iyi gitmemişti. 3. gün geldiğinde S2G güzel maçlar geçirdi ve şampiyonluğu Türkiye'ye getirmeyi başardı. Bu Türkiye e-spor tarihindeki en unutulmaz başarıydı.
This year, the EU region has continuously produced even more strong teams. First of all, G Gladiators won first place at the 2023 PUBG Mobile Pro League Spring Regional Championships and third place in the 2023 PMWI. Veteran teams like Nexuria and Canada Power have been performing better and better this year and successfully qualified for the 2023 PMGC. Subsequently, hot recent teams like Mad Bulls, BRA Esports, Major Pride, Elise Esports, Demorte, among others from EU, have also successfully gotten a spot in PMGC. They all look forward to continuing the success of the EU region in 2023. There are many questions surrounding PMGC. Will S2G successfully defend their championship? Will another EU team lift the trophy? Could it even be a team unexpected to win it all? Let's witness it together in Turkey.
Gold Investigator. Join the Investigator team and let's protect the game's fairness together.
2023 Popularity Annual Gala event tutorial. Hey there, welcome to the 2023 Popularity Annual Gala. We've introduced a brand new competition and upgraded rewards. You will have to go through 10 rounds of 1v1 matches and compete to become the first ever PUBG Mobile Popularity Annual Gala champion. So let's get right to it. New competition, ladder competition. The Popularity Annual Gala event will be utilizing a new ladder promotion system. Players' initial ladder grade will be determined by their battle points at the end of the first round. Ladders are divided into 6 grades: Triple S, Double S, S, A, B, and C, with Triple S being the highest. Ladder promotion rules. Players are ranked based on the popularity they gain during the battle period. For rounds 1 to 9, the ladder results are settled at the end of every round's battle. Apart from ladder grade C, each ladder has 100 spots, with the top 20 promoted, the middle 60 retained, and the bottom 20 demoted. If you're trying to move up the ranks, be sure to stay within your ladder's retained threshold or higher before each round is settled. Additionally, ladder grades can only be promoted or demoted by 1 grade at a time, so your performance in the assignment round is crucial. Be sure not to miss it. Final showdown. Based on the rankings from the previous 9 rounds, round 10 will be the decisive showdown to determine the final rank and ladder grade placement, including the champion of the 2023 Popularity Annual Gala, who will emerge as the ultimate winner. New exclusive rewards. At the end of round 10, rewards will be issued based on the player's ladder grade and final rank. For outstanding players, they will receive exclusive rewards that can showcase their supreme honor both in and outside the game. In-game rewards include the honor title, honor name tag, and honor avatar frame, which are sure to make you stand out. Moreover, there are also physical trophies, interviews, custom-made popularity gifts, official social media promotion, game exposure, and other exclusive honorable rewards. Gain global renown both in and outside the game. What are you waiting for? Participate in the 2023 Popularity Annual Gala now.
Now we are live in Malaysia, Petaling Jaya Battle Arena. It's going to be the last day for the 2023 PMGC League, which is going to be the last chance survivor. Last chance stage. With me, your host for today, Chuchu. Joining me on the stage, and none other than IHC Alex. Thank you for joining us here. Now, for IHC, you guys are standing literally at 6th place and one step closer to the grand finals. Are you satisfied with your performance yesterday?
За IC танай багийн хувьд бол одоогоор л 6 дугаар байранд байна. Танай багийн хувьд гранд финалдаа ороход нэгэн алхмын наан зогсож байгаа учраас танай багийн хувьд одоо ингээд өчтөрийн хийсэн тоглолтуудаа сэтгэл ханамж хэрвээ.
Бидний хувьд л өчтөрийн хийсэн тоглолтондоо сэтгэл ханамж бол 100% бол биш байгаа. Яг гэвэл бид яг сайн ч биш муу ч яг л дундаж оног аван тоглолт хийсэн байгаа. Тэгээ бяцхан алдаан тас болж энэ алдааг гаргасан байгаа.
About us, we are not 100% satisfied with our yesterday's performance because there was like a little bit mistakes from our side, and today we will be improving on our mistakes. So see us in the game.
Now, can you tell me what are the mistakes that you feel like you have to fix by today?
Танай багийн хувьд ингээд яг ямар хуудаа алдаануудыг засах ёстой гэж бодож байна.
Алдаанууд гэвэл яг зоон шахаж эхлэхээс өмнө жоохон хурдан хөдөлгөөн хийх. Тэгээ хөв тоглогч болгоны бяцхан алдаа одоо илүү үйлдэл тэгээ багийн буруу шийдвэр юм бүхэндээ засаж бид нар өнөөдөр илүү сайн тоглолт гаргана.
So on our mistakes is like before the zone starts shifting, we were moving on our individual moves, and some individual players were extended peeking on situations that they were not necessary to do. So we will be fully focusing on that situations.
Yeah, I don't blame them. The circle has been really crazy for the past few days. Yeah, now from your opinion, your own opinion here, which is the hardest team to fight in the close quarter combat or CQC? And who do you think will be your strongest opponents to just march into the grand finals?
За, танай багийн хувьд одоо ингээд тулсан тулааныг хийхэд хамгийн хэцүү байгаа баг ямар баг байна вэ? Мөн танай багийн хувьд топ 5-даа орохдоо ингээд өрсөлдөхөд хамгийн хүндрэлтэй байна гэж бодож байгаа эсрэг өрсөлдөгчөө хэлээч.
Манай багийн хувьд гэвэл яг юм дэлхийн аргад орж байгаа багуудаас яг хамгийн хүчтэй гэсэн багууд тахгүй бүгд л сайн багууд. Гэхдээ бид нар аль багаас ч яахгүй байна. Яг л бид нар яг 4-4 тулаад аль багийг ч буулгаж авах чадaltaй. Өөрөөсөө алдаа гарахгүй бол бид ямар ч багийг давж гарч чадна.
About us, we don't think there's like any strong opponent in this PMGC, but every team is equal on their own situations. Like every team is strong right now, but for us, we are not scared of any other teams in 4 versus 4 plus quarter fights. We will be able to overcome any other teams if we don't do any individual mistakes.
No, there must be one team, right? One team, don't play it safe. There must be one team that you feel like, oh man, you know, we have to fight them. Is there any particular? I'm trying to dig something here.
Одоо ингээд яг үнэхээр ингээд ямар ч баг байхгүй байх гэж боломжгүй шүү дээ. Тэгэхээр ингээд нэг бүр ингээд гүнзгийгээс сэтгэл дотроос ингээд ганцхан багийг нэрлэх гэвэл яг ямар баг нэрлэх вэ? Хамгийн сайн гэсэн.
Догоорыг сайн өрсөлдөгч гэвэл фейз фейз кланыг юу нэлээ. Тэдний ротейшн бас хурдан. Тэгээд бид нар ч одоо яг нэг газар бодсон шүү дээ. Жорж Апарт, Жорж хэрэг ингээ хуваагаа боддог болсон. Тэгээд тэн дээр бид нар байлдах гад өнгийх дүүдлж шүү дээ. Дүүдлж байгаа байлдах гад өнгийх гэхэд аль хэзээ ротейшнтэйгээ явцсан. Тэгээд илүү оноо авалтад маш сайн хурдан түүж болохоор фейзийг нэрлэе.
Okay, so if I were to say like there's one team that specifically, I think I will choose Fates because with Fates we share same drop spot, and with that, like whenever we are looting and trying to engage with the Fates, they're always ahead of us. and they always get the points ahead of us in the inside the zone. They get the placement, they get the positions far better than us. So that's what I particularly tell that FaZe is our strongest opponent.
I think you're not the only one because FaZe, with that comeback king moments, they can do anything, anytime. Now, for the last questions here, for the top 3 teams currently, they're aggressively playing without any chicken, but still can score a top 3. It feels like they don't really care that much about chickens anymore. Will you be playing more eliminations as well today?
За одоо ингээд шилдэг 3-т байгаа багуудын хувьд бол ерөөсөө ингээд чики идэ гэж бодохгүй зүгээр л ингээд оноо цоглуулад хурцтай тоглоё гэж бодож байна. Яг тэдний хувьд бол одоо ингээд чики идэх нь бол ямар нэгэн асуудал биш зүгээр л урагслаараа ингээд өөрснийхөө авахтай оноод аваад явж явах болоод байна. Танай багийн хувьд одоо өнөөдөр ингээд яг адилхан нөхцөл байдал гаргаж ирнэ гэж бодож байна уу?
Тийм, манай үгийн хувьд бол бид нэр kill point-ыг бол маш сайн цуглуулж байгаа. Гэтэ хараахан placement point дээр ерөөсөө оноо авч чадахгүй байгаа. Тэгээ бид нэр алдаануудаа баг цагаар ярилцаад өндөр алдаануудаа зассан байгаа. Тэгээ placement point болон kill point-уудыг хослоод маш өндөр оног авах болно өнөөдөр.
So about our team, yesterday we were mostly getting the elimination points and we couldn't get the placement points that much. But yesterday after the games we were having a little bit of free inside the team and we have discussed about what we're gonna do today. And today we're gonna get both elimination points and placement points. So good. So watch us in the games.
It's all down to the circle and it depends on the instincts of the player. Now that's going to conclude for our interview for today. And for today, it's going to be our last day in the last chance stage here. One mistake will be deadly for all the teams. Before we toss it back to the casters, he does have extra talents from Alex. Alex, I heard you want to say something before we end the interview.
Let's do this.
There you go. Toss it back to the casters. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, all right. You know, Alex, if PMGC doesn't work out for you, maybe you have a future in voice acting. What are your thoughts, Max, man?
Oh, I agree. That was really cool. Yeah, so cool.
There we go.
Really
that's all we've got.
Oh, that's as deep as I can go. Everyone, welcome back to the show here for the final day of the last chance qualifier to get into the PMGC Grand Finals kicking off in just a few weeks' time. I'm Jason. He's Max. And there on the end, looking handsome as ever, is Kalaris. So we're going to break down yesterday's games. And honestly, so you got to hear Alex Kalaris, you know, focus on the placements. That's what we've been saying. That's what they realized as well. Now, can they do it will be a different question.
Yeah, what a big brain comment. No, I digress. I mean, ultimately, they were getting great eliminations across the entirety of yesterday. So much so that, again, a 6th place team having the MVP for the day is extremely unusual. So for them to be able to go out and do that the way that they did, fantastic. But usually, the placement points do come with eliminations eventually if you're able to carry on that trajectory. So, I mean, there's high hopes for them if they continue what I think was pretty decent from them yesterday, all things considered.
You agree, Max?
I agree fully. I mean, they just need to try and reach more podium positions, right, at the end of the day. Maybe even they were too aggressive yesterday. Just got to tone it down a little bit, try and stay stacked as a full team. And if you reach the later stage, as you said, Kalaris, if you get placement points, typically the eliminations tend to naturally start to flow in your direction. So yeah, I think that's the big change for them. And they are just 3 points behind the top 5 position. So chances are we're going to have another Mongolian team alongside Stalwart to make it over in the grand finals, which would be pretty cool.
Pretty crazy considering how many points or how little points they are behind DXavier when DXavier had 3 top 4 finishes and a chicken dinner to boot on top of that. So pretty impressive, right? We'll see if they can continue that pace today before we can jump into that Infinix GT10 Pro, the official smartphone here at PMGC 2023. You guys can pick it up. It's born for professional esports players, and you guys can dominate the lobby with one of those bad boys. I need to get one because, well, as Max has found out, I'm quite trash.
No.
That was mean.
I was setting you up for that to be like, no, Jason. We played some back at the U champs, and you did pretty well. You had like a 15-elim game, but you went straight for the heart. I fully agree.
That's the best point you've ever done on this, Jason.
Well, maybe.
Right, sometimes it has to be me, okay?
You know what? That's fine. Someone can upload a compilation of me being mean to you over on TikTok. Make sure to use the tag PMGC 2023 because you can find not only, hopefully, one of those clips, but some stuff from happening behind the scenes over in Malaysia where the teams are currently playing. So make sure you guys check that out. But in the meantime here, obviously, FaZe Clan was mentioned during the interview as well as being one of the teams to beat. And Max, you've been a huge proponent in talking about how that last game we had of them on that Miramar, where they're able to change up their style, has completely avalanched into a domination so far in the leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, ever since that last game of the survival stage, Jason, they've had such a massive change in how they just approach these matches. Placement points, we're not going to cut it anymore. They need to start fragging out. They need to start reaching those late game scenarios. And look, if you look at their final 4 matches here, 3rd place with 9 eliminations, 3rd place with 6 eliminations, 3rd place with 8 elimination, and then the 2nd place with 12 eliminations. That is a complete overhaul of how they were playing the game before this very point of the tournament. And currently with 60 points, Jason, if they maintain even just slightly this kind of consistency heading into today, they're going to go into the grand finals in Turkey so damn easily. So FaZe are looking amazing so far, and I really hope we're going to see a continuation of that new mentality for the team.
And the cool thing is they're not really being fed these situations either. It's not like the circle's just bearing down upon them game after game. They're playing really decent edge sweeping style, which I've always said when it comes to PUBG Mobile esports in general, like when you see this in Battle Royale, this shows extreme quality in skill. The fact that you can sweep the edge, still be able to play with back against the blue, win those fights out, and then move towards the podium, that's some pretty high skill level there from FaZe.
I'm not gonna lie, after the first day of survival stage and even most of the second day of the survival stage, I didn't think we'd be talking this highly of FaZe Clan. I didn't think they would even have gotten into this point. But hey, credit to them to make this turnaround happen. And obviously with the results they had yesterday, they put themselves 14 points safe in the bubble. So for them, it's not even about winning matches, it's about surviving. Yes, you get some extra prize money going your way if you do place first, but you know what? Getting into grand finals is what it's really about. But a couple of other teams that maybe are surprising, at least for me, Team Queso. I am honestly surprised to see them in 3rd place with the results we saw in group stage, obviously with the survival stage as well. But look at this, 16 placement points, 36 eliminations, the 2nd highest fragging out team in the lobby right now with some of the best teams in the world. I think that is a true testament to how strong this team can be.
Yeah, and especially if you look back on their matches of yesterday, they got 2nd place with 13 eliminations on Sanhok. If they can try and hold their position in top 5, Jason, today, it is going to be down to that Sanhok possibly. It is a map where they typically are really good. It's just unfortunate this just once a day, but they're still going to try and make the most out of that kind of battleground. So yeah, Team Queso has been a big surprise. I'd even go to say that Rook has been a really big surprise for me despite not being in top 5 right now. A team from Africa starting off hot with that chicken dinner. Just need to see more eliminations from Rook compared to some of these teams we're looking at on the top 4 fraggers list. And if they can do that, maybe Rook could also push themselves up in the grand final.
Honestly, I'd be concerned if I was anybody from actually BTR Red Villains down. So 4th down. Why do I say that? Well, if FaZe, Persija, or Queso had been able to convert any of those podium finishes that they had into a 1st place, the gap in points would be significant. And if they continue to play the way that they played yesterday, those 3 teams, and they get at least 1 win on the board today, the gap will be significant. The catch-up will be difficult for the rest of these teams.
And yeah, and to be honest, if we're looking at the overalls and thinking about them, I'm thinking maybe even 10th place right now for Inco, which is at 30 points, might be around the cutoff point. Definitely one below them with Reject at 28 as we fall to 17th after with Gladiators. But it's getting really tough. You cannot afford to have a bad match. And honestly, Kalaris, coming into this after seeing Mad Bulls before, if I were to tell you, hey, at the end of day 1 of Last Chance, they're going to be 13th place with only 16 points, I don't think you would have believed me.
I mean, yeah, I think you said it pretty well in the past couple of days, like feast or famine, right, for this team. And I think, unfortunately, at this point, our region might be done for when it comes to the Last Chance. Like, Gladiators and Mad Bulls down there, not really seeing huge glimmers of hope for them just yet. And when it comes to today, when pressure is going to be on, I think that some of those teams at the top, as I say, with all of those podium finishes that they've got, I think they're going to be able to secure their position, shore those defenses up against these teams, which, if you're our Mad Bulls or Gladiators, you need 2 great games to start off just to catch up.
Yeah. When you're looking at a lot of these teams, you could even add to the mix here on top of Mad Bulls and Gladiators, your Duxan, your Nigma Galaxies, your Reject. The thing is, they had a lot of leeway when you started the start of this league stage, right? There was a lot of rotations that were very easy to pull off because teams were maybe a little bit slower, trying to adapt. There's so little mistakes happening in these matches now, Kalaris. Teams are so quick to rotate on circle pops at any kind of situation, taking the best position so quickly. If you're just 10, 15 seconds slower than the majority of the teams, chances are you're not going to reach a top 5. You're not going to reach a podium, and you're definitely not going to get those wins that you definitely need at this point. So, man, teams like Mad Bulls, they're going to struggle because there's just not that much space anymore. They just need to try and be even more proactive, which is Easier said than done, but it's what you have to do.
I mean, and knowing one mistake could decide between you getting to grand finals or not is just even more pressure. Fantastic shot coming with the witty there. But still, like, look at Influence Rage, the domination they were pulling off in, obviously, Americas, in the league stage, and in survival stage. They're not safe. They're at 8th place at 41 points. They can easily climb into that top 5. But honestly, it's so scary seeing how many teams are in very close reach of top 5 that I could not tell you who's going to be there at the end of the day.
I really believe, Jason, today the leaderboards are going to be completely scrambled. We saw that at the end of the survival stage, right? Where the teams at the bottom, you even saw like Inco as an example, do a massive comeback alongside Team Kesso. I think the teams that are currently not in top 5 have very little to lose right now. You're just going to full send it. If you're Mad Balls, Gladiators, Reject, Inco, you're just going to go giga aggressive, okay? Get all those eliminations and try and reach the late game, because exactly, you only have 6 more matches remaining. At the start of the day, you might try and get some placement points to try and stay relevant in the conversation. On the second half of the day, you need to start blasting from the get-go, because otherwise, a spot in top 5, you won't be able to do a comeback in a game or two. You need to do a really good game followed up by extremely consistent